Morning, guys. Welcome to Coffee Chat. Wow, that is amazing. Boy, I sure do love that coffee in the morning. I'll tell you what. And I come out here and I share my very first coffee of the day with you guys. Absolutely. Now, how I make that coffee is it's just basically, some of those Keurig cups, but I pour in hazelnut syrup, and we put in heavy whipping cream and cinnamon shavings. I'll tell you what, makes for an amazing blend and really, really love it. Now, I used to use that Coffee Mate hazelnut cream. And a lot of folks had said, listen, David, you don't realize just how toxic that is for you. And I started looking into it and I'm like, wow, I would have never even imagined. So, hey, you guys are the ones that helped me not do that and switch over to actual hazelnut syrup, genuine syrup. And on top of that, using heavy whipping cream, the real deal, kind of stuff. Because I guess the Coffee Mate cream is just as amazingly toxic. It's something else, I'll tell you. Anyway. Well, guys, a few people have reached out to me, and one person in particular had asked me, said it would make their year if I actually gave them a shout out on the Coffee Chat. And I'll tell you something, when I hear that, it really, really humbles me because I like to just come out here and be as personal as I can with you guys and kind of like look at the community as just being a member of the community. This isn't, like my channel the way I look at it. I think it's a community deal and everything like that. So it is very humbling when people come up and ask me for that, or, maybe stop me and ask for a picture or something like that. And so guys, I really am tickled by it. And so Damon, out there in the far northern tropics of Australia, this shout out is for you. And just to say, hey, hi, thanks for supporting the channel. I genuinely appreciate it. Now, I know that there are heaps and heaps of people who have been and by the way, when I say that this is the best community in all of crypto, I genuinely mean it, because what I've experienced from this community is absolutely phenomenal in this space. I've watched other channels, of course. I've actually been, follow other people and stuff like that. And you see the comments in there, and some of the toxicity and how bad they can be at one another is crazy. But when in this channel, I have watched people in the comments literally go out of their way to try and help somebody understand something genuinely that they don't understand and kind of point them in the right direction without and really showing that they care whether or not the person is actually going to get hurt or anything. And I'll tell you, I really value that a lot. And you guys, I'm telling you, in my estimation, are the best community in all of crypto. That is a fact. No flattery intended. I kid you not. Well, I'll tell you something, guys. The articles that I was reading today are really telltale in a big way. Now, we know that there's been an attack on cash for a long, long time. And in fact, when you actually think about how much is on deposit in the banks and how much actual physical cash, it used to be they'd say 6% of physical cash for all cash on deposits. Well, guys, I'm actually starting to believe that it is a significant amount less than that. And here's why. One of the articles that I was reading today, and this is coming out of NatWest, and this is a bank over there in the UK, and apparently there's this, notice that's going around all social media where NatWest is coming out and saying, hey, if you want to withdraw anything more than £2,000 at the bank, you're going to have to give them a reason for it, but not just a reason at the teller like, oh, well, why are you taking out? Well, I want to go buy, this, lawnmower or something like that. No. They want to see an invoice. Can you believe it? They need to see evidence. And on top of that, the notice actually says that in some cases, they may deny the request to withdraw cash based on the supporting documentation you present. That is absolutely obscene when you consider that it's your cash on deposit. But guys, the reason they're doing that is because there just isn't enough paper currency to go around to actually meet the demand. And that's what you're seeing. And the thing is this, You know, when you put your money into these banks, it no longer is yours. Yes, you have access to it. Yes, it's on your account statement when you look online and this and that. And yes, you know, there is some obligations to it. But in actual fact and in reality, the bank can actually determine how much you can actually utilize when they want. Look at your debit cards. Think of this. Now, they all come out and say, hey, this is for your protection and what. But the deal is this. You take your debit card and you have your point of sale. They limit how much you can spend, don't they? In a lot of cases, it's something like $1,500 point of sale, you know? So if you go to the grocery store, you can get $500. You go out shopping for your kids back to school and you're buying, you know, clothes and shoes. And we know how that can go. You have 2 or 3 kids, hey, it can get up there. But needless to say, maximum usually is about $1,500. Then what else do they do? Hey, cash withdrawals. They limit the amount you can withdraw from the ATM, don't they? And stuff like that. Well, that is a form of monetary control. A lot of times we don't think of it like that, but they're literally limiting the amount that we have access to on a day-to-day basis. And they have the ability to do that. Once your money is in the bank, that's it. It really is no longer yours. They are literally parenting you with your deposits. Now, hey, a lot of us really don't carry a lot of cash. I mean, I used to have like a few bucks here and there, but most of the time we don't use cash because we just tap here, tap there, insert there, that kind of thing, and use our plastic. And it's way, way, way more convenient. But guys, think about it. We have been conditioned to accept a cashless society, a digital style of economy. Now, a lot of people think that just because our money is mostly digital, you know, entries and stuff like that, that we're really talking about a kind of like we're already into a digital form of cash like CBDCs, but we're not really yet. Although they can put monetary controls and limit our spending with our debit cards and things like that, think about this. They don't have the programmable function in the currency yet. And that's what's coming with CBDCs. And when you think about that, they're wanting that 4th element of monetary instruments, right? They want that social control in there. And I'll tell you, boy, if they get it, it is going to change the way the world works, excuse me, on a major, major level. It is going to be absolutely obscene. Now, we all feel when we see that, we get all, you know, offended when we see that, hey, look, the bank can, you know, deny you a withdrawal of your own money if they don't like the information that you provided. And of course, NatWest on their website is saying, oh, well, this is just to really protect you and this and this and that. But it's not. Guys, it has more to do with the, you know, the control of the monetary policies and things like that. Now, we have to start thinking in a different way when it comes to our money. Now, I've always said, hey, look, it's peace to have a little bit of cash at home in case the whole banking system kind of like went down for 2 or 3 days. And of course, a lot of people say, well, if they had a bank holiday and stuff like that, it may pay to have a little bit of cash sitting at home. And so if they can allow you to take 2,000 pounds out, maybe you want to stock that up and store at least 2,000 pounds. Have it sitting around the house. At any time, you need to actually use cash in an emergency situation. But now that leads to a segue to the next article. Reading an article, and this is coming out of Citigroup. Citigroup is projecting that the price of silver is going to go up to $30, and literally within the next 5 to 6 months, that is going to be a big, big deal. Now, it's my estimation that the price of silver and gold has been so manipulated and suppressed for such a long time. Genuinely, right now, under the current liquidity crisis that we're going through around the world, silver should at least be almost $100 an ounce, if not $200 an ounce. And I'm telling you, silver is one of those things that is used literally around the world in multiple applications. And as a monetary instrument, it has been a monetary instrument for thousands of years. Now think about this. For those who don't know, what are the elements of a monetary instrument? Well, has to be a store of value, yeah? Has to be a unit of account, right? And a medium of exchange. Well, silver has met that bill for a long time. It's a great store of value. As a unit of account, we measure it in weight, right? You know, ounces, silver, this, that, and as a medium of exchange. Yeah, people will, you could take silver anywhere in the world, any country on earth will convert that silver into whatever their local currency is, and you can transact with it. That is major. But of course, you know, who's going to carry around, you know, thousands and thousands of ounces of silver? It's not as, you know, transportable as, of course, you know, fiat currency is, or as, you know, these digital assets are. But it is a great store of value. And it's something that Judy and I, on a lot of, you know, we used to have, you know, we would actually go in and we'd make sure that we had a little bit of bullion on the side. In fact, that is how we actually got into this digital asset space. When the whole happened, we were out there looking to preserve our savings, the purchasing power of our savings. And we were living in the lower mainland of British Columbia there. So I went out trying to find gold and silver, physical, of course, you know, as a hedge against, traditional hedge against inflation. It's not so much an investment as it is a protection of your purchasing power. So if you're seeing a $30 an ounce silver, think about this. What's happening to the dollar? It is going to be crushed. Now, having said that, this is the third article I was reading. This is about Russia and China speeding up the mechanism for them to have their own monetary rails to interact with one another outside of the US dollar. And I think that the US dollar, as far as the petrodollar is concerned, in my estimation, it's absolutely dead. We just have not had the funeral yet. That's what I actually see coming down the pike. It is truly crazy. But guys, you got to get ready for it. You got to be mentally prepared. You know, don't be shocked. If you're out there, and by the way, if any of you are out there over in the UK and you're actually using, you know, the NatWest banking system, I want to ask if you've gone into the bank and made a request for any sizable withdrawal, if they've actually asked you to supply evidence to do it. I'd really love to hear that, because I think a lot of us would like to see that in the comments. If that's you, drop it right down there in the comments. That would be great. Guys, before you go, I thought I'd introduce you to a new member of the family over here. My daughter went out down to the local shelter and she picked herself up a beautiful little dog. And she is just so adorable, and she called her Sasha. Now, I think the reason she likes the name Sasha is my daughter they spent a lot of time over there, like years and years, in Belarus and in Ukraine, and they just love the Russian community over there. And a lot of them, they actually speak a lot of Russian. Judy actually speaks some Russian. She told me the only things I know how to say, that I should know how to say in Russia is "Ya tibya lublю" and "da." So you know what? Those of you who speak Russian are going to know exactly what that is. "Ya tibya lublю" means I love you, and "da" means yes. And so for my wife, that's all she needs to hear coming out of my mouth. So guys, this is little Sasha, just sitting there so pretty, aren't you, Sasha? Good girl. What a beautiful little dog. Anyway, she is a delight, and she's just taken to the family. So nice, and she loves it out here with all the beautiful weather and, of course, you know, the outdoors and that. So it was a great treat for our daughter to go out and rescue this little girl from the pounds. Anyway, guys, I thought you'd really enjoy meeting little Sasha there. She is just a true delight to have for the family, and it has been a pleasure to be able to just kind of love on a little animal like that. It's just awesome. Well, guys, I sure hope you're having a fantastic day, and until later on when we have an excellent video to release to you, I sure hope you have a good one, and until then, take care.